Are we made in the image of God or in the image of the Kardashians? This is my exploration of the ideal body image of modern culture. Modern culture today feeds us messages from Hollywood, from the media, and from peers. And the messages are loud and clear. You are not okay the way you are. And pressure to achieve the ideal body image is incredible today. To be tall, svelte, and have flawless skin. Our bodies are rarely depicted in today's media for the abilities and the functions that they serve. Instead, we berate ourselves for not being as toned or as flawless as the models we see. The social ideas of beauty and the body image are not only unattainable, but they are damaging as well. There is significant need for a radical change in how we define a beautiful body. It begins with a conversation about a healthy body image that we need to have with ourselves and with our kids. Chimamanda Adichie is a talented writer from Africa. She writes stories of her native Nigeria and the inhabitants therein. In 2009, she delivered a speech entitled The Danger of a Single Story. And the focus on this speech was in viewing the world through a broader vision in order to construct a more complete literary story. I chose to use this philosophy in my scrutiny of the ideal body image. The single story is that all bodies must look the same, and it's unachievable and detrimental to our physical and our mental health. All bodies cannot fit the single story, and why should they? The single story robs us of individuality and dignity. We are all worth love and affection, and regardless of our waistlines. And focus should be on redefining the beautiful body image instead of focusing on the single story. The ideal body image is unattainable, and yet fortunes are made and spent trying to achieve it. The beauty industry creates solutions for what the media tells us is a problem. And women see it, want it, and buy into it, trying to look younger, sexier, and thinner. Without the media's influence, would we really think that dark circles under our eyes are such a crisis? Or would we realize we need to get a little more sleep? And would we think of ourselves as overweight if we weren't bombarded by size 0 models every day? Society feeds us the lie, and corporate America sells us the solutions. And why do we continue to believe this single story when women of all shapes and sizes around us have such interesting stories to share? Women who are talented and smart as well as beautiful. We can refuse the media frenzy, and we can create more accurate beauty standards for us and for our kids by remembering that our existence is nothing short of a miracle. I have a 9-year-old girl who's just starting to understand this story. Every day she asks me, do my legs look bad? When can I wear makeup? What about my thighs? Are they too big? These questions represent a multitude of doubts running through her mind daily. And I recognize the doubts in my own life. I'm the mom of 5, and my body has been the primary tool of carrying, delivering, and nurturing 5 beautiful people into this world. But my body has the telltale signs of being a mom of 5. Why should I focus on the physical scars and the stretch marks left behind? They are simply one part of my multifaceted story of motherhood and family. Focusing on the beautiful body that God gave me and choosing to ignore the pressure every day to obtain the beautiful body, that's the decision that I must make each morning. Glamour magazine printed an article not long ago called The Shocking Body Image News. 97% of women will be cruel to their bodies today. They surveyed 300 women, and they found that the average woman thinks 13 negative thoughts about her body every day. That's about 1 every waking hour. But some think in excess of 50 to 100 negative thoughts a day. And these thoughts can be mild, like, I need to lose a few weight, or my arms are too big. But they can be extreme, like, I am such a fat, worthless pig. We would be affronted if someone said these things to us out loud, but we're less offended when we think them ourselves. Why is that? And these negative thoughts can do damage. Neuroscience research reveals that the brain is shaped by what it focuses on. Negative thoughts we think become habit-forming. And this brain training is starting younger and younger. Girls in elementary school and younger are getting this message, but not only through the influence of media, through children's literature and videos as well. Consider Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella. The dashing young prince is swept away by their beauty, but he knows very little of their character. The Ugly Duckling. This story shows us the lack of value placed on the unattractive. Eventually he grows into a beautiful swan, and children are hoping for this same phenomena in their own life in later years. These stories have been around for years in print, but now children consume them daily in the video form. Now, Glamour magazine article mentioned before has some good ideas on how to counter negative thoughts. But let us not forget, Glamour is one of the entities that we're fighting to quiet the voices in our society about the body image. This magazine is filled with photoshopped pictures of models and digitally retouched faces. Even the article I mentioned shows a picture of a completely naked white woman, just to show us and emphasize what modern culture really thinks of as ideal. Magazines and TV are not our only causes of concern when it comes to the single story. The University of Strathclyde, the University of Iowa, and Ohio universities studied the influence of social media on self-image. They surveyed over 850 women, and what they found was that the more time a woman spends on social media, the more she compared herself to others. And this is possibly more damaging than our popular media. We know the contributors of our social media sites. So the comparison hits closer to home. These photos are still edited by digital photography, so we're always presenting our best on social media. Our travels, our relationships, our successes, and our selfies. Magazines can be avoided and TV can be turned off, but social media cannot be ignored in today's world. Yet, we are capable of obtaining positive opinion of our bodies. If negative thinking produces neural pathways to negative emotions, then positive thinking can recreate those pathways to feel confident about our bodies. We can remember that obsessing over our waistline and what the scale says doesn't make us look any better. We can begin exercising and eating just to make us feel better. I remind my daughter daily that her body is doing exactly what it was made to do. She can run, she can jump, she can play. We can appreciate our bodies for their abilities instead of scrutinizing how they look, and then maybe we can stop comparing ourselves to others. And most importantly, we can surround ourselves with positive people in our lives, friends, coworkers, and spouses. We need to listen to them. Chances are they are saying the positive side of the negative thoughts that we are experiencing. In order to redefine the ideal body into the beautiful body, women need to abandon the idea that beauty is power. Strength is power. Compassion is power. Intelligence is power. For 21 years, the Army had the motto of "Be all that you can be" to recruit able-bodied young men and women. A better slogan for the women today would be "Be all that you were made to be," for a more comprehensive definition of the beautiful body. We were created to embrace life, to be in relationships, and to nurture those who are close to us. We need to recognize qualities in women that make us unique: our compassion, our intelligence, our sense of humor, and our strength. It is past time to write a multifaceted story that doesn't limit women to one ending.